Hi everybody, this is Scott Dudley from Funnel Fella Radio, and today I've got a special guest from the other side of the country over in Sydney, Liane Chase. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yep.
Yep. Sorry, I almost forgot your surname there, which would have been embarrassing. But yeah, so Liane runs Funnel Animal, a marketing agency from over in Sydney. And so let's just get straight into it. I was just going to ask you about your background and how you got into marketing and funnels in particular.
So I had a 20-year career in IT marketing. So I worked for Digital Equipment Corporation, Compaq, HP, Dell, Microsoft, and then went back to HP again. And so I've always been in marketing, in enterprise marketing, a little bit of consumer marketing. And then I broke myself working too hard and quit my job so I could recover my health. And during my recovery, I came across ClickFunnels. So yeah, at that stage, I'd been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad and really trying to educate myself financially and, you know, break out of the rat race as you do when you're a Rich Dad fan.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I want to start a business, I need to get my head around systems. And I saw ClickFunnels as an opportunity to help me get a business started. And at that stage, I wasn't really sure what that business should be. But I just took a big leap of faith and I signed up for the ClickFunnels Certified Partner Program. That was about 3.5 years ago, and I did that program. And here I am today.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit what it was like to be trained by Russell. That would be certainly an interesting experience. And I believe it wasn't a cheap program either.
No, it certainly wasn't. It was 10K US. And, you know, when you convert that to Aussie dollars, it was probably about 14, 15K. So it was
That's a huge investment. Yeah.
Very big investment. So it was a very comprehensive program. Nora Sudduth developed the program and ran it. You know, so we started off looking at, you know, who we tried to target. We really got into marketing fundamentals, you know, who we try to serve, as you hear Russell Brunson talking about constantly, you know, who is your ideal customer? Who's your avatar? Who's your target market? And, you know, what do you know about them? What are their pains? What are their problems? What are their desires and their goals? And if you don't know that, then you can get yourself into trouble really quickly. So, you know, a lot of our training was based on customer research, competitive research, and then coming up with funnel strategies based on the problems that we're trying to solve with the thing that we've got to sell to solve that problem. And then we get into the whole funnel building and learning how to use ClickFunnels, which is pretty fun. And I'm not a technical person. I'm definitely more a marketing person than a techo. So, you know, if I can learn how to use ClickFunnels, anyone can.
Okay.
Or yeah, all you have to do is do some of the training and you're good to go. So, so yeah, it was a very comprehensive course. I think it took a good 3 months or so to do that, and we had, you know, assignments weekly, and yeah, very comprehensive course. Then I had to fly to Boise. A group of us would fly to Boise to have like a 2-day live event where we'd basically get in little groups and come up with a pitch for some business owners, and, you know, funnel ideas and funnel strategy, and pitch that. And yeah. So, so it was a pretty comprehensive process, a very good process to go through to learn what you needed to learn to be you know, a good online marketer, to get started as a good online marketer. And there's still so much more to learn, always something to learn.
Yeah, true. So was it like, did you have weekly classes or live classes where you'd have the instructor, or was it just mainly done like a course where you just work your way through the course?
Yeah, you worked your way through the course, but there was like a weekly, like a Facebook Live where we got to catch up with Nora and ask questions and do that sort of thing. So that was very helpful as well.
Okay, excellent. So based on sort of what you learned from that, and now what you're doing now in your agency, what would you say are some of the biggest mistakes or common mistakes that you see that people are making with their funnels and your clients in particular?
So what I see and the conversations that I have are that a lot a lot of people are sold on the dream of, you know, the laptop lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know, being able to work from home and make a lot of money online. And yeah, everyone has that dream. No one wants to be, you know, that worker that is constantly getting their ass kicked in the office and, you know, working 40 to 60 to 80 hours a week. So, you know, and me too. I've been there, done that, don't want to go back to it. But I think what a lot of people don't understand is that when you are launching a product online, you're actually launching a business, you're building a business. And it's a process. And, you know, the biggest mistake that I see is that people don't know who they're trying to serve. And that's a really hard question to work out who you want to serve if you just don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know. You just think that you need a product to put in a funnel and launch it, and then you're going to make money. But really, it doesn't work that way. You've got to understand, okay, what's the problem that you want to solve for someone? Figure it out. And, you know, this, I felt with this as well, and this was a big aha that I had, and it took me a good 12 frustrating months to really work this out, because aside from starting my agency because I had a background in marketing and just that was my starting point to build my own business and do a business online and see wherever it took me, it was like, who am I really serving?
Yeah.
And I just had no idea. I just couldn't figure it out. I just didn't have that light bulb moment for a long time. And I spent a lot of time looking at who was being successful within the ClickFunnels community. And so if you look at, obviously, Lady Boss, Jim Launch Secrets, you know, those guys who are now the 2 Comma Club X winners, $10 million in the funnel. You know, I sat back and I looked at them, and then I had my big epiphany, my big aha, and I realized that they were their own customer avatar.
Oh, okay, it's interesting.
So that was like absolutely earth-shattering for me, insofar as if you want to get started and you don't know where to start, look at yourself. Look at what you do. Look at what you like. What are your interests? Where do you struggle? What problems do you have? Because if you can look at yourself like that, you know what you go through every day. Like, if you've got a problem with something, and you know the things that you do to try and fix it, you know how much it frustrates you, you know what you're trying to achieve, and because you know that, because you live it every day, therefore you need to figure out what you can sell to solve that problem that you live every day, because you know other people will be living it too. It's not just you.
Yeah.
So so that's, you know, that I think being my biggest aha moment, that's the biggest piece of advice I can give to people based on the biggest mistake that they're making, is don't just pick a product, you know, maybe choose an affiliate product and throw it out there.
Yeah.
Step back and think about yourself as your potential target customer and how you can solve a problem for yourself. And if you can solve it for yourself, you can solve it for other people. Then turn it into a funnel. So yeah, that is absolutely the biggest thing. And, you know, I see a lot of, I talk to a lot of people who are going through the One Funnel Away challenge.
Yep.
And, you know, that's a brilliant challenge. The training is fantastic.
It is, yeah.
The coach is fantastic. You know, the course material is fantastic. You know, but if you are missing that foundation piece of who you're trying to serve, you're going to get stuck in that process doing the One Funnel Away challenge. And then you're going to spend a lot of time and money not going anywhere. So, you know, take the time to really think that through. Think of who you're serving, not what you're trying to sell. And really turn that psychology on its head. Otherwise, you won't be successful.
Yeah. So what you're basically saying is that a lot of people are getting it backwards, and they're getting the cart before the horse. Basically, they're focusing on the product and totally ignoring the audience, whereas the audience is the most important foundation to build from.
Yeah, exactly. That is the foundation to build a funnel from. And it's the foundation to just create your funnel strategy before you actually start building a funnel. So if you don't have that foundation in place, then everything you build on top of it's going to be extremely unstable, and it will crash down. And then, you know, the disappointment of your first funnel failing is really
Yeah.
difficult to take.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, a lot of people expect their first funnel to be a success, but you look at someone like Russell, it took him 6 goes to get ClickFunnels actually working, and most people would have given up after 4 or 5 goes, but he kept going with it, and eventually on the 6th funnel, it took off. So it's just a matter of building on it and not just expecting the first funnel to, you know, make you a millionaire.
Yeah, and you know, Russell is another great example of him being his own avatar, right? That's why he built ClickFunnels.
True, yeah.
I'm sure everyone knows that story where, you know, spending $20,000 trying to get your website built to launch a product to a market, and it taking 3 to 6 months to do that. That's why he looked to create something for his own business, to help his business at the time. So with him being his avatar, with him knowing the pain that the entrepreneur goes through, he was able to, you know, even though he knew that, and like you just said, it took him 6 goes to get it right. It took him 6 goes to work on the messaging, you know, and to work out the value. And every time he put something out there, he learned something, and then he was able to apply that learning and then test something else. And that's another thing, right? And that's something that I think people struggle to understand, that there are so many variables when you're building a funnel. So it's not only your avatar, it's also the competition. And some people think that they don't have competition, but that's not true. Everyone has competition. It may be indirect competition. Instead of buying your thing, someone could buy a different thing, but it still solves a similar problem.
Yeah.
So there's competition everywhere. And if you're not aware of it and understanding why people are buying other things, then again, you've got a rocky foundation.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then, you know, what is your offer? Are you creating a compelling offer that's going to get people to whip out their credit card or not? You know, if you're not thinking about these things, and there is so much going on in funnels, as we both know, that it's so hard to know if we're going to launch our first funnel and if it's going to be successful, because there are so many variables in that. So it's a process, and this is why I come back to trying to educate people that you're not just building a funnel, you're actually trying to build a business.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it like building a business, this is a long-term thing. You can't just throw one funnel out there and then be completely heartbroken when it fails and then walk away from it. Because that's not building a business. And if you want to have that lifestyle of being able to work anywhere, anytime, and earn the money that you want, then this is a long-term game where you put your stake in the ground, you learn as much as you can, you keep testing and tweaking and trying, just like Russell's example, and the Lady Boss example and the Gym Secrets example. I mean, it all took them a long time to learn, test, get feedback, keep tweaking, and build over time. They didn't just suddenly get $10 million in a funnel overnight, or even 1 million, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's, you know, it's like disconnecting people from their dreams, but it's also giving them the platform to try and get to their dreams.
Yeah, makes sense. Excellent. All right, so tell me a little bit about your agency now, Funnel Animal, which, by the way, I think is an excellent name. I love it. I did have a look at your website. Tiger's actually my favourite animal, and I saw it straight up the top, and I was drawn to it immediately. So it looks nice.
All right.
So yeah, what niche market are you targeting mainly for Funnel Animal?
Well, really, I don't right now see myself as targeting a specific niche, but if I think about my avatar, you know, my avatar is, you know, those people who are looking to get their business online, and they probably haven't been able to get it online before, or they've not, you know, they've not been in the ClickFunnels world for a long time. They're new to it. They need help. You know, they don't have the technical skills, or they don't have the marketing skills or the strategy or what have you. So, you know, it is a little bit broad at the moment, and I will eventually niche down. But, you know, Funnel Animal is, you know, Funnel Animal is my why for being in this business. And, you know, that's another thing. If you don't have a very strong why, if you're only chasing the money, you won't stay in the game. So my why, and why I called my business Funnel Animal, and it took me a couple of years to work this out and I guess be a little bit brave in putting it out there, is I want my business to help me help animal charities and help save endangered animals. And because that's bigger than me, then I will work through the hard times to achieve that goal. So I'm now the proud sponsor of an elephant in Africa called Booby.
Okay, excellent.
And I just adopted 5 koalas at the Port Macquarie Koala Hospital. And I bought a whole heap of milk powder for the rhinos in South Africa who I was hanging out with earlier this year.
Okay.
So I only did all of that the other day before end of financial year of getting some sponsorships in place and giving back. And so in terms of my niche, I want my niche to be animal lovers too, because then we're working together for a greater purpose. They may not be putting money into animal charities like I am, but they are animal lovers and doing their best to support animals in one way, shape or form. So yeah, but yeah, I'm still trying to work out exactly what sort of clients I want to focus on. I get clients from all across the board: real estate, coaches, course creators, people in health and wellness and what have you. So I have worked with a wide gamut of people in different industries. So it's been good.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I did see all the charities that you support down the bottom of the website too. So there's quite a few there. Yeah.
Yeah, I do put as much money as I can into those charities. Try and make a difference.
That's a bit of a point of difference too, because I don't think there'd be many other funnel agencies that would be doing any charities like that. So
yeah, I haven't noticed any myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just a personal thing for me because I'm just passionate about saving animals. So and I've had a lot of great feedback about my website and the design of it and what have you, which is great. I'm really happy with sort of how it looks and what people think of it, and hopefully it does attract certain people to want to work with me, because then you're working with the right type of client as well.
Yeah, good point. All right, so sort of on the operations side of things, including yourself, how many team members do you have? Do you have like VAs and people working for you, or is it just yourself?
So I've got a copywriter and my designer who designed my page. So they are both highly experienced. They're both here in Sydney. They've been in marketing for like at least 2 decades each as well. So my designer is an art director and worked for some really big media agencies. And yeah, she's quite a phenomenal designer. And so she loves playing around with ClickFunnels and doing a little bit of CSS code here and there. And,
okay.
She's a bit of a WordPress guru, but I've brought her over into the ClickFunnels fold now. Yeah, and my copywriter, he used to have his own marketing agency, but he decided to sort of step back from it and not work so hard. And so he's doing what he loves, and that's copywriting. So we've got a pretty cool little team down here, very experienced team.
Excellent. All right. So I noticed on your website that you've got Facebook advertising. Do you do that yourself, or do you outsource that? And is it just Facebook that you do for traffic, or is there other services as well for traffic?
No, I do the Facebook advertising. So I studied under Molly Pittman.
From Digital Marketer. I know her. Yep.
Yeah, she has phenomenal Facebook training. I also did Dan Henry's course, but for me, and the way Molly talks about ad copy and ad creative, she stands out above everyone else. Because copy and creative are 2 of the hardest pieces of a Facebook ad, right? Try and get that cut through and get those clicks. So I do the Facebook advertising. Certainly spend a lot of time doing the targeting research to try and find the right audiences and not just go for the same audience that everyone else is trying to go for. So so that can be a lot of fun, a lot of work. But interestingly, with COVID, a lot of my clients have pulled back on Facebook advertising, so I haven't been running much lately. But it looks like I've got some clients who are ready to get back into it over the next month or 2. So we'll be winding that up again shortly.
I thought the advertising costs had gone down during this COVID stuff. Would you agree with that? Or because I don't do any Facebook advertising, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, they have, but I guess a lot of clients are just watching their cash flow.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and you know, some of my clients have got their existing businesses, and you know, they've had their own clients pull back, and yeah, so it sort of clips their marketing budgets as well. So it's been a bit of an interesting period through COVID.
Okay. All right. So, what sort of funnels do you build for your clients? So I know that you've mentioned that you've got a wide sort of different client base at the moment. You're not really niching down, but is there a particular type of funnel, like a challenge funnel or a free plus shipping funnel, that you tend to build mostly, or more than others?
No, I wouldn't say that there's one that I do more than others. Obviously, there's, you know, quite a few lead magnet funnels.
Okay.
Lead
Yep.
magnet funnels going into sales funnels.
Yeah.
My most successful client so far has cracked six figures without advertising at the moment, and she's got a lead magnet funnel running into a big sales page, into a 3-tier course offer, from $297 to $697. Those prices range from, and then it goes into a big membership site and an affiliate funnel. So that was a big project in itself, and we worked on that over months, really refining her avatar and taking her through the entire process. And
Okay.
you know, she was the absolute best client because, one, she is her avatar, she knows them inside out. And then she was really open to the guidance and the feedback and the offer creation ideas I gave her to get this funnel off the ground and test it. So she just ran it to her Facebook group of 2,000 members, and sold probably about 30K through that. And then
Nice.
she had an in-person event before COVID, and
Yep.
then promoted it at that in-person event, and then, you know, cracked six figures just from that in-person event. So I'm hoping sometime this year we can start running Facebook ads to that and really drive that
Excellent.
funnel hard. But you know, so there's no specific funnel. I'm doing some fun things in Facebook at the moment with learning units. Are you familiar with learning units in Facebook?
Wouldn't have a clue. What's that?
So I learned this from Rachel Miller. Rachel Miller has the 100 Perfect People course that she sells for $10. And basically in Facebook, you can set up like a daily challenge in Facebook. And so day one, you get a video, and, you know, like it's the daily challenge, and it's like a 5 or a 10-minute video. And then you get your little PDF handout, your daily challenge sheet, and then you go and take action in Facebook. The course itself is about how you build your organic followers, and that you actually only need 100 good followers, like followers who are your target avatar, to get your business off the ground. And so watching and learning from her in that structure, I've been able to apply those learning units to clients in, one of my clients has done a meditation challenge
Okay.
with a Facebook learning unit. So you're just driving people into a private Facebook group, and they're taking the challenge within the private group, and then they're asking the questions, and you know, you're responding to questions and comments and what have you. And then you know, that's the free value add
Yep.
that you're providing as, you know, that free lead magnet to then upsell to, you know, courses and paid coaching. So that's working well, and just about to roll that out for another client in the relationship space.
Okay. Excellent.
So yeah, that's it. And you know, we are capturing email addresses with a ClickFunnels lead magnet.
Yep.
So we can control the email address rather than just let Facebook have the email, even though there are
Yeah.
third-party tools to scrape it, but that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, drive them through a lead magnet funnel, then into a Facebook private group to then do the challenge in the Facebook group, and then email nurturing, and then into a sales funnel after that. So, so that's actually working out quite well at the moment. And what else? So yeah, mostly sales funnels. I might have a client that is interested in an invisible funnel.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah, so I've been watching Russell.
That's a tech challenge. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, that's a
Oh,
tech challenge. Yeah. Well, with the payment side of it, because they only pay for it if they don't try to cancel it after the webinar. So to actually set it up so that it you get their credit card details, but then they don't pay for it initially, and it has to all it's difficult. I won't go into the details, but yeah.
Yeah. So I do actually need to learn that. So I might be reaching out to you for your advice on that.
Okay.
But yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, that I do. One of my clients in the sort of health coaching space might be interested in doing that type of funnel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that.
Interesting. All right, cool. So, what's the biggest challenge that you consistently have to face while running your agency?
I guess consistency, like projects. You get projects coming in and they're a bit lumpy. So they can like when you're running a funnel agency. I guess it depends on your type of client. The clients that I'm dealing with at the moment are more at the lower end, and it's just all project basis. So that means your business is very lumpy.
Yeah.
And you can have time periods when you don't have a lot of projects on, or you can have time periods when, like, you've got 7 and your clients just all of a sudden decide that they're ready to take action, that you've been waiting on them for weeks to take action on.
So like a feast or a famine almost.
Yeah, it can be very much feast or famine. So that's a bit hard to manage.
Yeah.
But we do get through those times, fortunately. And then, yeah, I mean, what else is challenging? I think the other thing is, making sure people have the right expectations. And that goes back to the point I made before about, I understand your dream, but the reality is this, and it's a process and it takes work. And I will work with you and help you and support you and guide you if you're willing to do the work.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get involved in funnels, make sure you're willing to dig in and build a business. Otherwise, go and find some other get rich quick scheme that might work for you.
Yeah. From my experience, the expectations, it's crucial, because if their expectations are too high and then you don't meet those expectations, then they can get upset about it. But that's where you've got to set the bar at the right level from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had some clients run one funnel and then walk away from it, even though it got decent results, but the results were lower than their own expectations.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you also need to understand your audience temperature. If you're a brand new business, you don't have a following, and you're promoting something to people who don't know you, that cold audience, you can't just launch one thing and then walk away from it, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. So you've got to keep learning. And, like I said before, all of the variables that come with funnels and offers and message and, there's just so many different ways you can slice and dice a message in a funnel to try and get that outcome.
Absolutely.
And we have to see what the market wants. It's like when you go fishing on one day, you could throw in one piece of bait that all the fish will bite on, and then you throw the same piece of bait in the next day and there are no fish. It's like, that's exactly what it's like. So you definitely have to have a clear expectation on yourself and on the people that you hire, that this is a testing process until we get the momentum. And once we get momentum, then things are really good. But we've got to start at the foundation and have the right foundation to get that momentum going.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Who are your marketing idols or the biggest influences in your career?
When I was in the corporate world, I don't think I really had any. But since coming into the online marketing world, like Russell Brunson, obviously, I really like the way he simplifies the knowledge. I mean, he's got such a great skill in really just stripping away the stuff that confuses people and making it really simple and succinct. And so, his books, the value he provides and his intention, he's definitely my favorite internet marketer. I also love Alex Shafran. He's really, really impressive. The Billionaire Code.
Okay.
And he's got his own podcast called Momentum, and that's really interesting because you can really, I think we feel it, but we don't understand it. We don't know how to articulate it. So when we get stuck, we lose our momentum, and then we get distracted by stuff and we walk away and then come back. And if we try a little bit and get stuck again, entrepreneurs, business owners have to be in momentum. And so we've got to figure out how we lose our momentum and why we lose it, and how, you know, how we work through those things to maintain it, to keep the business opportunity going. So, I've learned a lot from him. I think Julie Stone is also awesome.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
She also has a really great way of teaching people and really simplifying concepts to teach people and help them get their breakthroughs. So, yeah, she's excellent as well. So yeah, they're probably the key ones. I mean, the digital marketer guys are also incredibly good. Ryan Geis and his team.
Yeah.
And which Molly Pittman actually, yeah, I should, you know, do a call out to Molly Pittman, because, you know, the value she provides as a Facebook educator is phenomenal. And, you know, her teaming up with Ezra Firestone, like they are,
he knows his stuff.
Yeah, you can, you know, so in terms of the big beacons in the industry, for me, it's like Russell, Julie, Steve Larson on the ClickFunnels side.
Yes.
And then you've got, you know, Molly, Ezra on the Facebook e-commerce side, which is really interesting as well. So yeah, some really great people that you can learn from. And also these people are genuine with trying to educate people, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So just to wrap up quickly, where can people go to find out more about your services and or your products?
Well, just go to my website, funnelanimal.com or .com.au if you're in Australia. Both links will take you to the same place. And people can just book in for a free call and have a chat. And I always provide probably too much information in those chats. I go into strategy, I give them offer ideas, and, you know, I can't help myself because I'm so passionate about it.
Over deliver.
Over deliver. Yeah, absolutely. That's the name of the game. Over deliver.
Oh, that's a good thing. All right, excellent. Thanks very much for joining us today, Liane. I really appreciate your time and all the insights that you've shared with us today. And yeah, I guess I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for that.
Great talking with you, Scott. Thanks.
Okay, bye.